Yeah.
That's funny. I have a question, Lonzo. Did you ever, one of the first things I did as a kid, stupidly, was, whenever I get a good sum of money, I'd go get a big sound system for my car. The bigger the better. The amps, the speakers, for my car specifically, not for my studio or anything. But did you ever go through that phase where you just had to be bumping in your car?
Um, Dusty, when I was really low riding back in the day, we didn't have amps. We had to go and grab speakers at the house. We go get an old stereo system and plug the speakers up. You ain't had no. We didn't get EQs until the 70s. Okay, you had to get. Our thing was we just wanted loud. It didn't have to bump. It just had to be loud. I had a Malibu with bucket seats in it, and the bucket seats had a metal plate in the back of it. So what I did, I took the metal plate off, cut a hole for my not my 6x9s, but my 6-inch speakers. And when I wanted to bump my shit, I just laid my seats down and let the shit just bump. Parked from my girl's house, making a bunch of noise. That shit didn't have no rattle to it at all. It just was noisy. Plus, but we had a little more finesse. We had color bars. We had a little bar in the car, the music go jumping and shit. Then we had, as we ride down the street, we had lights under our wheel wells and shit. And you ride down the street, now you see these two lights in this car, and the car inside the car changing colors and shit. And I got the big old bird on the hood, nigga, with shit. And the bird and the lights under the wheel wells is the same color. You can't tell me shit, Dusty. I'm not listening. I'm not listening. Okay. See, I was a car enthusiast since I was like 14 years old. I got my first car when I was 14. So, and I knew we had auto shop. We knew how to fuck with cars. All we had was carburetor. All you had to do was carburetor, distributor, gas, carburetor, distributor, gas, and timing. If you understood that part about the car, you can get you. As long as it was, you found the high point of what's that? Damn it, where everything lines up at, and you get the book and your spark plug, you had to gap your spark plugs and make sure as long as you got fuel in the air, your car's supposed to fire up. We had to worry about points. Y'all ain't got no points. Points was that little thing that had the rotor cap. Yeah, man, that shit's gone now. It's just old school. But back in the day, that's all we had. And we learned that shit in the 9th grade. So we working on cars, greasy as fuck with wrenches and pliers and shit, changing the alternators and all kind of crazy shit. That was our get down back in the day. But I never really had the sounds. I mean, we only had shit, man. We had 6 wires to put the stereo together back in the day. Yeah, 6 wires back in the day. You had a ground, a negative, and 2 speaker wires. That was it. When I opened up a radio in the 90s and saw them goddamn left, rights, and nigga, I almost had a fit. I stopped fucking with stereos after that. They got too complicated for me. Now you got EQs and you got bass boosters. And you got no. We didn't have no sounds, Doc. We didn't have no sounds.
Oh, okay. Art has a great question. He says, Lonzo, did your DJ set have any special accessories like an echo chamber or beatbox drum machine?
I didn't have a beatbox drum machine, but every once in a while I would rent a Echoplex. Echoplex. Oh man, y'all making me go back to some crazy technology. Echoplex was basically a tape recorder. If you made a sound, it would automatically loop and play it back. And depending on how fast you played it, you had how fast the speed was, it would determine how fast it came back. If you played it down slow, it hello. You sped it up, hello. Technology. I only could put it on either on my microphone or on one side of my speaker because it wasn't stereo. And then I started using phase shifters. I would go. I'm renting my equipment from a music store. So I tried the phase shifters on my voice. I tried fucking echo chambers. I tried phase shifters and wah-wah pedals. I tried all kinds of shit. I used to play a cowbell along with the music. I'd be playing cowbell sometime, and I had one of them little vibra slaps that are. If you ever hear the record slide, doom, 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 it's like a little. It's a real simple thing. But I had a whole little mini percussion thing that I would fuck around with when I'm DJing because I got bored. We didn't do a bunch of scratching and shit. So I'm playing a little cowbell, a little vibra slap, had a tambourine and whistles and shit. That was my sound effects.
There you go. You mentioned a few names on that interview with Cypress Hills, Be Real, Dr. Green Thumb Show. You mentioned a few names that you feel were left out of Straight Outta Compton that you felt should have been in there. You said JJ Fad, Michel'le, and Laylaw. Let's start with JJ Fad. Why do you feel they should have been in Straight Outta Compton?
Laylaw, JJ Fad was one of the reasons why they made that. That was their first platinum record. They bought the single Supersonic from my man Rudy, who was my partner at West Coast, took that, wrapped the album around it. The album went platinum. And that was a lot of the funding for Ruthless Records came from that JJ Fad deal. That was the main reason why. You know, they never had another single. You don't know no other songs from JJ Fad. You might know Another Hole, but you don't know a whole bunch of other things. There's a song in Beverly Hills Cop 3 when they had Wonder World, and JJ Fad got a song playing in the background when Eddie Murphy is doing something with that Roger Rabbit exhibit, and you'll hear Eazy E rapping on this JJ Fad track. Other than that, I never heard the record no place else in my life.
All right, so that's JJ Fad. You felt also that Michel'le should have at least been mentioned in Straight Outta Compton. Why Michel'le?
Same reason. Michel'le went over there and went platinum over at ADCO. You know, they had, that was when they again, that was another one of their first major selling records, R&B wise. Those two acts right there showed the versatility for Ruthless Records. They both of them on Atlantic, if I ain't mistaken, with the Ruthless imprint. Then later they got a distribution deal, and those were the Posse album on Priority got them some money, but I don't think that shit went platinum till later on. But because Michel'le, no, because it was the EP. They grabbed it, went over to Priority, did some decent numbers. I don't know if and how long it took them to go gold, but JJ Fad and Michel'le both did very good numbers and brought a lot of revenue to the Ruthless camp.
And lastly, Laylaw, may he rest in peace. Someone you knew very personally, but you also felt that he should have been brought up in Straight Outta Compton. And that's a name that a lot of people don't know. Talk to us about Laylaw and why you felt he should have been mentioned.
Laylaw was my dude, man. I brought Laylaw into the camp. I met him at Michel'le Records. He had a label called Rolex Records. And Laylaw was the coolest, smoothest cat you ever want to meet. He was in the game, but he was trying to get out. And he was a hell of a writer, though. He was a hell of a writer. A lot of that stuff on Michel'le's album was written by Laylaw. Laylaw and L.A. Dre were like the R&B backbones of Ruthless Records. Dre did a lot of work, but keyboard-wise, they was all L.A. Dre, standing guitar man, Laylaw, and somebody else were kind of driving forces behind that R&B section and even the musical section overall of the whole Ruthless camp.